Hey friends, it's Dimitri with Nebraska Streetwear. So this is a review of the year 2024. So I would say in general this year was sort of okay. It had some ups and downs. Um, I met some goals that I had and I didn't meet some other goals that I had. I would say it's a little bit more comparable to 2022. That year was not my favorite. I would say it is a little bit better than 2022. That year was sort of just off for me, and 2023 was a really great year. So, for instance, like my traffic to my website doubled, but my sales went down a little bit this year, which is also kind of in line with the general shopping trends of the year. Retail sales generally went up slightly this year, but overall it was a lower spending year, like in the country. The economy's kind of wasn't as good, I guess, but I did have my best Black Friday sale I ever had, which was really cool. And that helped a lot for the end of the year to wrap up stuff. I got rid of a bunch of old inventory and moved a lot of stuff out. So I'm a little bit sparse on inventory right now, but I do have new stuff coming in. Speaking of the new stuff, I'm gonna make a video once it comes in. I'm just waiting for it to get shipped over here, but the last drop I just did, I have new designs on there and they have some new details there that are gonna warrant new videos. So for instance, I have my first zippered hoodie that I made. It's been almost 8 years and I never made a zippered hoodie for some reason. This was kind of a fault of mine, I think. It's sort of a bias. I'm not really a fan of zipper hoodies, and I haven't had one since middle school. But that doesn't mean that customers aren't. So that was me interjecting some bias into clothing where I shouldn't have. And I would suggest that for you guys as well. Feel out what your customers want and give them products that they need. A lot of the products I obviously like and I wear, and like it's in line with my style, but there are a couple things like I don't really wear zippered hoodies, so that is something that people wanted and something new I tried. And on this specific print, it's an oversized print, so that's one new thing. It's getting printed over the zipper enclosure, so that's a technique that print shops can do for you, or they can print all over the fabric and then cut it and then sew it. That's another way to get your print like going to the zipper or beyond it. You have to talk with your company about that. Some places do not do that kind of stuff and some do. Specifically here in the United States. If you're overseas, you basically can do almost anything if it's getting like custom manufactured. But with printing, there's some nuances to it, and I'll make a video about that. So yeah, oversized, printing on zippers, and then also printing on the kangaroo pocket. So this is what I mean right here, a kangaroo pocket, because that design is also getting printed over the pocket. I did make a video about that earlier in the year about if you have a design and your printer is limited to, how far they can print, if they don't print over pockets and whatnot. Some do, some don't. So that's also a new thing, and I'll make a video about all that once that inventory comes in. I'm really excited for that. And that goes on to my next thing, which is this year I'm really excited because I got a new printing company. I found these guys out of state, so that's also an interesting thing. So when I order from them and they ship it to me, and it takes probably takes like 5 or 7 days for items to get shipped here. The shipping cost is not extraordinarily high either. It factors into the overall price of each shirt. But I would say I have only been ordering items locally, like literally within my county. About the farthest like I would drive would be like 20 minutes to grab items, which is really cool and great. And if you can get it as local as possible, that's great. If they can do a good job. If they can't, then obviously you're gonna have to go find the best printer you can. But this new experience has been really cool. Well, I guess I did work with one printer before this year as well, an older printer, but they recently had their print operations outsourced to like another outside of the state. So that was a thing, but this printer that I'm using right now is completely different than the other ones. So basically, they are now my new screen printers. They do a great job, really fast, good communication, and the amazing thing is that they're way cheaper per unit, so per shirt. So I probably made a good deal more profit in some areas this year than I did last year, even though my sales are a little bit lower. And looking forward into the new year, that's going to also help a lot. I'm going to have more profit margin for each sale that I do. So those guys are my main printers now. And then the other guys that I was using, so they do a good job, but they are, in terms of price, they are more, like significantly more. So they're going to be like my backup people, but they do embroider really well for a decent price. So they are now going to be mainly my embroiderers here in the US. And then obviously I have people overseas too that do more customized stuff. But yeah, that is a very exciting thing that happened this year, was to find like a really solid team of people that can help me. I also found 2 new drop boxes this year. So what I mean by that is I have the post office really close to me, literally next door, like a minute walk. But with UPS, oftentimes, like they can have cheaper shipping options. So, but I can only pick them if the transportation costs make sense. And I made a video about that, because when you are shipping items, if you have to get in your car and put everything in there and then drive 20-30 minutes to drop them off, you have to factor in that time and gas to your shipping cost. So that's kind of an important thing to factor in, unless you're bigger and you have like a contract with the post office or UPS or FedEx or whatever, and they just come to your warehouse or office every day and they pick up everything. But that's also a fee, obviously, for that. So you have to pick and choose what works for you and the size of your business. But for me, I'm really excited because they had a new drop box here for UPS that's literally like a couple minute walk from my office. So I've been going there frequently every day. And then in the town over, about 10 minutes away, there's another parcel drop off for any parcel. So even once in a while, I would use DHL or FedEx and obviously UPS. And it's really convenient because those other places are farther away from me, and they kind of are a time suck to just drive somewhere, and I have to plan it out and stuff. And then the customer might have to wait an extra day because my schedule might not work for that day to go drop that off. But having a drop-off area nearby that's really close like that is super helpful. So I'm really excited about that. One thing that, another good thing that happened this year was more shipping improvements. Those are always fun. Sticker production. There was pros and cons to that. So the biggest pro obviously was like the cost to manufacture the stickers went dramatically down because I'm making them myself and stuff. But what I learned from that experience was that it kind of garnished, not garnished, but garnished my time. It took a lot of my time away because I'd be focusing on making stickers. So what I learned from that was I need to significantly improve the process of making them. Like, one area where it was a little bit difficult for me was like the lamination. So that was a whole nother step for the stickers, and I don't have a machine that does that. I have a cold roller. Essentially, you manually do it. And creating stickers took away kind of a significant time of my day. So what I have to do for that is I have to get more equipment to help me speed up that process. And I have to figure out more efficiencies and more hacks to make the overall process quicker. That way I can, not have my time sucked away by making stickers. And I think what would help as well is I need to pick a day, probably on Sunday or something like that, where I spend like an hour or two and make all of the stickers for the week and cut them out and laminate them, all that kind of stuff. Because what would happen is people would be ordering them, and then I would be making them like maybe 2 times out of the week or 3 times out of the week, and then like my time would be scattered that way. Whereas it'd be better to just coordinate everything so one day I can have it all printed and cut, laminated, all that kind of stuff, and ready to go for the whole week. Because people were buying a lot of stickers this year, so that was a good thing. And if I can't get that down, improve the process, get more equipment to help me with that, then I would have to outsource my sticker production again, like I did before, because my time is just too fractured. And that kind of goes on to my point for the new year, which is going to be my main focus for the 2025, is to be very conscientious of my time and where it goes, exactly what I'm using my time for. I had some problems with procrastination and being distracted by lots of things going on in the business and in life. Like even in the summer, I would take shorter days at work and go do projects at home when I should be focused on here. So I am gonna be making a plan for how I'm gonna manage my time better, and kind of be a little bit more rigid for 2025 and see how that affects it, because in 2024 I was not as rigid as I should have been. There'd be days where I'd come to the office a little bit late and then the schedule gets thrown off. And it's because I'm mainly basically like a one-man army over here. That's kind of a tip for you guys. A lot of you might be just by yourselves. You have to be really, really focused on where your time is going, what you're spending your time on, and what's important. And I'm going to focus on, like in my previous video, figuring out what's the most important thing I can do with my time, like that will move the biggest rocks. And I'm going to plan around that. And then everything else will be peripheral, like it won't be as important. And I'm just focus on the main things and focus on how I spend my time on them. One thing that I probably didn't like this year was I didn't make enough YouTube videos. And I like making YouTube videos because it helps me think through my process and just the general direction of where things are going with my brand. And also, I generally just want to keep growing on YouTube and help you guys. I like making videos. And I also did not post enough on TikTok. For some reason, my TikTok account has been kind of glitchy. I would try to post videos. Even today, I'm trying to start the year off right. The day before, I'm trying to post a video right now. And it gets all the way up to almost posting and then it like stops and glitches. And then TikTok also like tries to remove some of my videos. And so that was something I didn't like, that I'm going to work on for the new year's to make more video content, because that's important. In 2023, I made a lot of video content, both on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram. I did post quite a bit of videos on Instagram that went pretty well, so I'm going to keep doing that. But on TikTok and YouTube, I didn't post enough videos that I should have. And that's the one other big thing that was really cool for 2024 was that I actually started getting paid on Instagram to post. And I didn't make a video about that, but it's called bonuses on Instagram. So basically they pay you to post content, and it incentivizes you to post more content, especially like reels. And throughout spring and summer and fall, they were paying me, and even right now they're still paying me. It's not really like a lot of money, but it's still something awesome. I probably, if off the top of my head, probably got paid maybe like $700 or $800 over the year just posting on Instagram. That's like peanuts compared to like some content creators. They get paid thousands, tens of thousands of dollars from posting videos. So I'm gonna go really hard on that for the new year, because it's kind of nice just to make extra money by already doing what you're supposed to do. Like I'm just doing my job, posting content and clothing photos and all that stuff. So I'm going to keep doing that. But yeah, I would say this year was all right. It wasn't my favorite year, but it wasn't as bad as like 2022 or something like that. So I'm really excited for the new year. Oh, well, this is the other thing. I have 2 huge developments that I made in my office that are going to save me a ton of time. And it goes in line with my theme for the new year, the time consciousness. So that's definitely an improvement for this year, my photo setup. And then I have another area in my office, and I'll make a separate videos about that. But yeah, that's my year in review. It was a pretty all right year, and I'm really looking forward to 2025. If you guys got any value of this video, or if you have any comments or questions, you can leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks.